Welcome to Conversations That Coach. We are so excited to be filming here in studio at City Furniture. I'm Stephanie Quinu along with Cynthia Blackwell and Melissa Hicks. And this conversation, I think we're very excited about because we all can connect with it. And that conversation is creating that roadmap to success, something we all want.
Yes, and this is really great timing. I mean, although we are almost at the end of January, and honestly, most people are probably giving up on their New Year's resolutions. I know I'm struggling a little bit myself, Cynthia, so.
I didn't even make any this year.
Well, that's very good.
Whatever.
But see, that's very good that
Yes.
we didn't, because literally New Year's resolutions are wishes. They're pie in the sky. I wish I had that. I wish I had this. 9%, studies have shown 9% of those people that set New Year's resolutions, actually, they come to fruition.
Wow.
They come true. And so I don't know about y'all, but 9%, that's not enough for me. What we really need to do is, number one, identify, is what I suggest anyway, first step is identify your top 3 categories of importance and focus for you, both in your personal life and your professional life. So then that way, now we're impacting both, because personal and business are not separate. In order to have a experience success, even success, harmony and success, we need to have it and feel it in both. And so those goals and objectives in those top 3 categories need to align personally and professionally. So mine are, I'll share with you mine. Can I share mine?
Yes.
Okay. So my top 3 are this, and everybody's will be slightly different, right? But here are mine. My number 1 is financial or finance. And so in my personal life, I want to pay the car off. I want to get rid of some debt, right? But over here in my professional life, there's a certain amount of income. There's a certain amount of financial success I want to experience. And so I can have my top 3 goals underneath each one of them. My second category is growth and development. What does that look like for me? Well, in my personal life, it's growing, it's going and working out, it's getting healthier, it's, taking care of myself. Whereas over here in my professional life, it's growing my business. It's, promoting Conversations That Coach, my professional career. And then of course, the third category is spirituality and mental health. And so personally, working on my mental health, my success mindset, my words of affirmation, things of that nature. So then that way I can stay healthy, and then that way I can help other people, right? I mean, that's what we do, is we serve others. And then in my professional life, it is my spirituality, because spirituality is very important to me. If I believe, I can achieve. And so then that way, when I'm writing down my top 3 goals and objectives in each one of these categories, by having faith and believing, now I'm truly manifesting and sending a very clear message to the power of the universe of what I want and I expect. And by planning, I'm now preparing to receive and achieve explosive success.
Okay, so New Year's resolutions don't work. 9%,
No.
that's not enough.
That's not
But
enough.
for someone out there who's like, okay, let me create my first ever roadmap to success, can you give us like a specific example? Let's say it's like the well-being category, and you have the personal and professional goals. And I think a lot of people, we wonder how big of a goal should we create for ourselves, because we want to set ourselves up for success,
Yes.
not failure. And I think a lot of times people are worried if we set a goal so high, it's too overwhelming, we're going to fail. So like concrete, what does that look like for someone who's never done this before?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question. Okay, so I'm a firm believer in creating tippy-toe goals. And so there will be those that will say, create realistic goals that you know you can achieve. Okay, well, that's fantastic, but here's what happens as human beings. We're lazy, right? And so when I get to the point where, I know I'm going to achieve my goal, let's say revenue, sales, okay? I know in October, I'm gonna reach my forecasted sales goal for the year, so I'm gonna go, I can relax now. Which is exactly what we don't want to do, because then now we stop, right? And so instead of setting complete realistic goals, set tippy-toe goals. Y'all, I'm from Texas, so if you're going to do something, do it big or don't bother, okay? And so create those tippy-toe goals. Think of, you trying to reach that light bulb, because then what happens is, in October and every single month, we're looking at our sales revenue. We're looking, how close am I? What percentage to goal am I? This way, you guarantee you're not going to stop, you're not going to slow down, you're going to keep driving towards that. You might not hit the tippy toe goal, but you know what? You're going to have goosebumps and be really proud of yourself because you just experienced incredible success. You even weren't quite sure if you could get close to that number, and look at what you accomplished. And so, tippy toe goals.
So momentum is obviously a really big part of this, right? You're
Absolutely.
reaching, you're getting closer.
Yes.
And a large part of that, though, is manifesting. I mean, you really have to believe that you can achieve,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, it is. Manifesting for me has been really the game changer in the goals that I've been able to meet. And I love what you said, Cynthia, about affirmations, because there's so many ways that you can manifest. So you talked about writing things down. Well, vision boards are huge because you get that visualization. So what I'd recommend for vision boards is you need to really put that in a place that you're going to be looking at that every day. So something I do that's been really helpful is I take my vision board once I've completed it, and then I just take a picture of it, and then I print off copies. So like I put one in my planner, I put one in my room.
I love that.
Put one in my bathroom, because again, that visualization of seeing that every day, all day, is what's going to help manifest that. So what we think about, we bring about, and it's so important to have that visualization. You talked about affirmations. Another thing that's been really helpful for me is I've taken the voice recorder on my phone and I've actually recorded affirmations. So I've taken 4 or 5 minutes and I've just said, I am, all the things that I want to create. So act as if, we've all heard that, right? Act as if. Well, in order to act as if, you have to be hearing. So you need the audio, you need the visual, and you need that brain and heart connection that really is going to help you manifest those goals. Because if you're looking at that every day going, here's what I'm achieving this year, you're going to do it. Just like you said, you're tracking along with those tippy toe goals.
We always find what we're looking for. And I love what
Always.
you said about affirmations. I believe that the 3 most important words in any language are today I am. And we
Yes.
all say that to ourselves every single morning. But what are the words that we're saying after that sets us up for either, a not so good day, or a wow, this was a great day. I'm so excited. I can't wait for tomorrow to start, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love how the both of you are talking about having a conversation with yourself, because that's where it all starts. And I think, I connect a lot with, as a woman, as a mom, as a wife, I often cater to everyone else and I'm listening, I'm having conversations with other people, but I don't have one with myself. And so at the end of the day, sometimes you can feel a little lost. So it's so important to be able to connect with yourself and do the work and have that conversation internally so you can clearly identify what those goals are, right?
Absolutely.
But it's about doing the work, and it's about truly understanding your authentic self and what your true needs are. Like you were saying, before we started filming, it's not about what you think other people want from you, right? It's about what you truly want, which can be scary, right?
Yes,
It can be
yes.
scary.
Well, we're afraid to let somebody down.
Yes, but we're letting ourselves down, right?
Yes.
If we don't have that conversation first with ourselves and truly understand who we are
Right.
as a person.
So scheduling a brainstorming session with yourself, what are my top 3 categories? And just putting all kinds of ideas. There's no crazy idea. Well, there are crazy ideas, but put them all up on the board and then identify, okay, how do I narrow it down to those top 3 categories? And so, you talked about our authentic self and understanding who we are. So that's the second step in creating a powerful roadmap to success, right? Is having some self-awareness, knowing who we are, what our positive habits are, because we all have habits. Do we have positive habits? And we also have those not so great habits that, cause us to self-sabotage. And so having a good, strong sense of self-awareness, who we are, what our motivators are, what our stressors are, now we can do a good job of, for example, not getting rid of procrastination because it's never going to go away. I'm telling you, it's never going to go away because I'm 56 and I haven't got rid of it yet. But I know how to leverage it now because I know who I am, and I recognize those emotions that start working up in our body. And I recognize when I'm doing that. And so now I have an ABC process to help me not overcome it and make it go away, because again, it's not going to go away. But now it supports me in being successful. So procrastination, do y'all suffer from procrastination?
Yes.
Yes. And
You know who doesn't,
hey,
right?
procrastination is the assassination of your destination. It is.
I love that.
It's the assassination of your destiny.
So I have a question, because we're talking about procrastination, something that I definitely deal with all the time. I think we all do. I think probably every single person on this planet does. But I'm curious, because you were mentioning that, you know, you have your process, right?
Yes.
And I feel like everyone deals with procrastination a little differently. So I'm curious, how do you deal with procrastination? How do you overcome that?
Yeah, so I suffer from ADHD. Both of you guys know that. And when you have ADHD, something like procrastination is very evident. So two things that I do that's been really helpful for me. First of all, when you're procrastinating, you're overwhelmed. And we have to embrace overwhelm, okay? That means there's things that need to be done, right?
You're like, no.
Yes. So two things. The first one is what step can I take right now? One small step just to help myself progress to the next step. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
If you can't do that, then what you need to do is ask, who can help me do this? Because sometimes we get stuck in procrastination because maybe we don't know
Yes.
how to do what we need to do. So those are two things that have been helpful for me.
I like that, because for me, yes, it's doing one small, you know, check something on my checklist, right?
Yes.
Maybe a small, easy email or a phone call, which makes me feel accomplished and lessens that sense of anxiety and being overwhelmed. But I love what you said about reaching out, because that's so, I'd never even thought about that, but
Yep.
it's true. Even saying, hey, look, I don't know how to do this. I'm stuck. Can you just give me advice? Or I
Yes.
really like that.
Well, you know, that's my third point, okay, is to create your roadmap to success, and that's accountability partners. You know, we got to have people in our lives that we trust, that we can reach out to. And so for me, I'm totally with you. Having this ABC process that helps me to stop self-sabotaging and telling myself this lie that, oh, I work great under pressure. And, you know, when I wait till the last minute, then the best product comes out. Well, yeah, it is a great end product because I'm telling myself that. However, by putting my ABC process in place, 15 minutes to create the outline, the next 15 minutes review the outline, add more, you know, meat onto the bones of what I'm doing, and then the third and final, I'm done, has really helped me. So then that way I'm not starting with a blank sheet of paper, because that's worse for me. But I love that. I love that. And reaching out to people that we love and we trust, that are going to be open and honest with us and help us get to take that first step, you know, or get to the next level.
And for me, procrastination, I feel like, you know, I like to be a perfectionist, right? And I think that sometimes is that self-sabotage where you just don't even want to start, right? Because you're afraid that it's not going to be perfect, that you're going to fall short of your goal. So you never even start, because it's safer not to start, because then you don't risk failing or not accomplishing it. But what I've learned is, and I know you have a great phrase, but it's not about being perfectly polished, because I think, you know, when you strive for perfectionism, and that doesn't even ever exist, right?
No.
It's about being perfectly present in the moment with how you're feeling, with the project at hand, and just being there. And that's what creates that momentum. But you had a phrase that you were sharing with us earlier about
I love it.
I've got all the phrases. I love them. It keeps me in check, right? So get mo is good enough to move on.
I love that.
You know, when you suffer from that perfectionism, we get stuck. So is it good enough to move on? And if so, move on. And there's so many tools and resources. The Pomodoro technique, if you guys, have you heard of that?
I
I
haven't.
haven't.
So it's basically you break up your time. So you can buy like little Pomodoro clocks or whatever, or you could just use your phone, 20-minute increments. You set it for 20 minutes. That's intentional work, and then move on.
Oh, I like
so,
that.
yeah, it's very effective.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, it breaks it down into more manageable steps,
Yeah.
right? Instead of
Absolutely.
like this huge, overwhelming project, it's like, okay, just 10 minutes.
Right.
10 minutes
Yes.
of
Then
my
you take a
day,
break.
Yes.
then you take a
Well,
break.
see, for me, that's very helpful because I'm fast-paced. To sit still for more than 15 minutes, good luck with that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I gotta go do this. I
The
gotta go do
squirrels,
that.
the squirrels.
Oh yeah, lots of beautiful distractions. Squirrel, shiny, pretty. Ooh,
Right.
shoes.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Facebook ads, they're great.
Oh yeah,
I need
TikTok.
that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, I need
Cat
that.
videos.
Cat videos. Oh, those are hilarious. Hey, but we also need those beautiful distractions. And so scheduling
Yes.
those into our day, I like to call them fun checks. So then that way
Yeah.
you're giving yourself permission instead of trying to deny yourself of these distractions.
And that has helped me immensely. Instead of, it's like it's not the removal of, right? It's the addition that helps me. So whether it's a phone call to a friend or whether it's like, getting your nails done, or that actually helps me. That motivates me to do something I don't want to do. Because I'm like, well, there's a reward at the end of this, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, can I talk a little bit about accountability partners?
Yes.
I want to touch on that for a second, okay? So listen, our second most important thing to take into consideration when we're creating our roadmap to success is self-awareness and taking our personality into perspective, okay? And so we've touched on that and how we leverage the things that we know about ourselves so then that way we can continue to propel ourselves forward. Now, by knowing these things about ourselves, for example, me, I'm fast-paced, I move fast, I think fast, ADHD, I don't pay much attention to the details, not on purpose, but I'm, okay? And so I'm strategic and intentional in choosing other people, one that complements me with energy, with emotion, priorities, but then I also need someone that's going to slow me down and ask the questions and, look at me like you look at me sometimes and go,
Yeah.
and that tells me, hey, I need to slow down. Not stop or change who I am, but I need someone in my life that's going to ask me thought-provoking questions to slow me down, so then that way again at the end of the year I've gotten the most out of my goals and objectives. I've gotten the most out of my intentions. And as we're choosing these accountability partners, choose people that love you and respect you and align with you. They're going to help you. They want to see you succeed. They're not BSing you. They're not just saying things, or they're not going to be mean to you, okay? Sometimes it can be your spouse. My husband is the founder of my fan club, but we also need someone outside of that family dynamic that, again, knows this from a professional perspective and understands what our goals and objectives are, but also understands those nuances about our personality and will go, you're doing that again. You should stop doing that. So then that would go, oh, I am? Okay, I'll stop. So accountability partners really help us hold us accountable to implement those goals and objectives and take those actions and really leverage those wonderful things about our personality that will help us to achieve and experience incredible success. Plus, they also help us and encourage us to not just plan, but prepare to receive so we can celebrate together when we experience explosive success, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Love it. Accountability partners. There's tools I've used as well. There's one called Stick that's amazing because another thing I learned is you're going to be 2 times more effective at meeting your goals if you have an accountability partner.
Right, because you don't want to let them down either. And I
Right.
think that that's so important. It's like if you let yourself down, you beat yourself up, but you want to make other people proud as well.
Absolutely.
And I think that does help.
Yes,
right?
yes.
That definitely helps.
Well, when we opened up the show and you mentioned about New Year's resolutions and the fact that we're at the end of January, right? So many of us, 91% of us have already given up on those New Year's resolutions, okay? So when we create goals and objectives and then pay attention to our self-awareness, the action of knowing ourselves and taking those steps, and then being intentional about getting those accountability partners, studies have shown when we do those 3 things and take that action, now we've increased our chance of achieving our goals and objectives, of manifesting what we want in life. We now increase it to up to about 90%. So I don't know about you, but if you hand me $1 and say you got a 90% chance of winning, I'm
Yes,
gonna take that $1 and go buy me a ticket all day.
Yeah, no, I love this. I feel like all of this information, what I love about it is that we can easily apply it to our lives, right? It's not just some, like you said, some pie in the sky, abstract. There are concrete steps that we all can actually take to achieve success, and it starts with that roadmap, right? It starts with those three, identifying, right, those three sections. Then it's the self-awareness. We got to do the work. We got to figure out who we are, what makes us tick,
Yes.
what our strengths are,
Yes.
what makes us want to run and hide, and how to deal with that. And then finally, those accountability partners, so that if you are under the covers, right? They're like, Cynthia,
They're
get
calling
out.
you. They're knocking on
Come
the
on
door.
out.
Girl,
Come
come
on
on,
out.
let's go.
Yeah, no, I love
Absolutely.
that. That is, this like you say, right? Gives me goosebumps because it's so empowering to know that we have that power within us. Everyone has that power. We just need to unlock it.
Unlock it. Yes. Get out the key, y'all. Unlock it. Unlock it.
Unlock it. All right, so next month, guys, we're so excited for our next conversation. It's going to be about work-life balance. I'm changing it though. I'm going to call it work-life management.
I like
I
that,
like that
and
much
I
better.
need that too.
I like that
need
much
that.
better.
I need that.
Right.
I need your help.
Yeah. So we're going to dive into, can we do a stress-free life? And if not stress-free, a lot less stress. So we're going to dive into that topic next month. I'm so excited to share with you some tips and
Yes.
I'm excited too because I'm going to learn something, especially driving in traffic,
How to make
Yes.
that stress-free or less stressful.
Yeah.
I'm tuning in.
Yes, less stress. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We sincerely hope that we brought value for you and that we provided you with some success tips for you to experience incredible explosive success in 2023 and beyond. We would also like to thank City Furniture for this beautiful studio. We would also like to thank Feather Dot Media Productions for the incredible talent behind the camera and the editing, bringing you the best end product. And then very importantly, Four Rivers for providing you with that code so you can enjoy a great meal at Four Rivers. Now, again, being from Texas, they've got some great Texas style brisket. So we'll see you next month.